Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to help you cut through all the noise out there.
Exactly.
And today, we're tackling something lots of people wonder about. Hair growth products.
Mm-hmm. It's a big market.
Huge. We're zooming in on one that's pretty popular, especially in India, the Be Body Wise Advanced Hair Growth Roll-On.
Right.
It seems to be everywhere online. So our mission today is really to show you how to figure out what's just hype and, what might actually help when you see these kinds of claims.
And that's so important. Hair loss is, well, it's a really emotional thing for many people.
For sure.
And because of that, there's just this flood of products promising miracles. So for this deep dive, we're setting aside the marketing buzz.
Yep.
We're looking at the actual science, the ingredients, and what real users are saying about this roll-on, giving you the tools, really.
Okay, perfect. So this Be Body Wise roll-on, it's got these massive sales numbers, like 357,000 units sold.
That's what they report, yeah. It's impressive.
And the big promise is triggering new growth within 3 months. That sounds amazing, but can a serum you just roll on your head actually do that?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? But what's interesting here is the ingredient list. It's not just, vague botanical extracts.
Okay.
It's got things like 3% redensil that targets hair stem cells, then 3% rosemary oil, which helps with circulation.
Right. I've heard of rosemary oil for hair.
Yeah, it's quite popular. And then there's 2% procapil and 2% ann, again. These help strengthen the hair you have, reduce breakage.
Okay.
Plus aminexyl, that's in there to help block DHT.
DHT, right, the dihydrotestosterone.
Yes.
The hormone linked to male pattern baldness.
Exactly. So these are like patented compounds. They have actual research behind them. That's a big step up from just some random blend.
Okay, so there's some substance to the ingredient list. Let's dig into that research then.
Yeah.
What did the clinical trials show? You mentioned redensil.
Yeah, so for redensil, some trials showed an increase of about 17 hairs per square centimeter.
Wow. Okay. How does that translate across a whole scalp?
Well, if you calculate it out, that could potentially mean something like 10,200 new hairs, theoretically.
10,000. That sounds huge.
It does sound impressive. And there was a newer study, 2023, that found combining redensil with rosemary oil improved growth and thickness pretty quickly, like within 60 days.
50 days. Okay, that's fast.
It is. And for procapil, another key ingredient, studies showed moderate improvement in, I think it was 73% of patients.
Compared to what?
Compared to plasma therapy, which is a much more involved procedure.
Right, like injections.
Exactly. So the fact that you see positive data like this published in actual dermatology journals, that's significant.
Yeah.
It means something in an industry that's, frankly, full of pseudoscience. There's some real basis here.
Okay, so the science sounds promising, but let's do a reality check. We know most common hair loss, androgenetic alopecia.
Mm-hmm. Genetic pattern baldness.
Right.
Yeah.
That's driven by genetics, hormones, deep-seated stuff. So realistically, how much can a topical serum actually do against your DNA or, long-term DHT production?
That's the crucial point. These ingredients, they might help slow things down. They might improve the quality, the thickness, the health of the hair you still have.
Okay.
But let's be clear. They are not miracle cures. They won't reverse significant long-standing baldness or change your genetic predisposition.
Right. No magic wands here.
No magic wands.
Mm.
But something that is smart about this product is the delivery method, the roll-on.
How does that help?
Well, it puts the ingredients directly onto the scalp, right where the follicles are. You're not just rubbing it into your hair or losing half of it on your hands.
Makes sense.
And it's a non-oily formula, apparently absorbs quickly. That's huge for what we call compliance.
Meaning people will actually use it consistently.
Exactly. If it's easy and not messy, you're more likely to use it every single day. And with hair growth treatments, consistency is honestly more important than potency sometimes.
That's a really good point. Using something okay every day beats using something amazing once a week.
Pretty much, yeah.
So what are users saying? You'd mentioned looking at real-world results.
Right. Reviews are, well, they're mixed, but generally lean positive. A lot of people report seeing less hair fall pretty quickly, maybe within weeks.
Okay, that's encouraging.
And some report seeing new, baby hairs around the 3-month mark, which lines up with the product's claim.
But not everyone.
No, definitely not everyone. There are negative reviews, too. People saying they used it for 6 months, saw no difference.
So it might work for certain types of hair thinning, but maybe not others?
That seems likely. It does have a solid 4-star average rating, though, across thousands of reviews on places like Amazon India. So clearly it's working for a decent number of people.
And what about the cost? Is it expensive?
It comes out to about 23 rupees per milliliter, which is, pretty competitive for premium hair growth products in the Indian market. It's not cheap drugstore stuff, but it's in line with similar researched ingredient products.
Okay. And that claim about baby hair growth by month 2. You think that's realistic for some people?
Possibly. For people maybe whose hair loss is linked to nutrient deficiencies or just very mild early stage thinning, yeah, seeing some fine regrowth by month 2 isn't totally out of the question.
So wrapping this up, this deep dive into the Be Body Wise roll-on, it seems like a good example of a product that does use legitimate ingredients backed by some science at the right concentrations.
Yes, it has a sensible delivery system too.
But the takeaway for you listening is really about perspective, right? Look past the marketing hype, check the ingredients, see if there's actual research, and read user reviews critically.
Exactly. It won't magically restore a full head of hair if it's genetically gone, but it might help slow down loss, improve what you have, especially if used consistently. It's about realistic expectations.
It really shows how understanding the how and the why behind a product and its limits helps you make smarter choices.
Absolutely. And that applies way beyond just hair care, doesn't it? Think about it, how many other products or claims are out there, things you see advertised every day, which ones could maybe use this kind of deep dive approach? What else deserves a closer look past the shiny promises? Something to think about.